Hi, I'm Jennifer Kendall, founder of Acuity Path, where we support women entrepreneurs to grow with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Whether you're tuning in from your home office or catching a quiet moment between meetings, I'm so glad that you're here. In today's video, we're talking about how to stay connected to your 2026 vision using simple routines and gentle reflection practices. Specifically, how daily clarity anchors, intentional review, and supportive habits can help you stay aligned with the woman you're becoming, not just with the goals that you have set. My goal is to give you something that you can take away and use right now, something that helps you feel more grounded, aligned, and empowered in your business and life. Let's dive in. In our last video blog, we talked about getting clear about how you want to feel in 2026. So you sat down and you thought hard and you created a vision that actually matters to you. That is real work. But here's what happens next. And I'm going to be honest with you about this because I've lived it. Your beautiful vision can fade. Life gets very loud. You get pulled in 17 different directions. And suddenly, you're not sure if you're moving towards what you want or just moving. This blog is about keeping that vision alive, not through complicated systems or perfect habits, but through small, honest routines and moments of real reflection that remind you of who you're becoming. Running a business, let's face it, is chaotic. You're making decisions constantly, some big, some tiny, some you don't even realize that you're making. And without some sort of check in, it's ridiculously easy to just drift or to panic or to slip back into patterns that don't serve the future that you are trying to build. But here's what I've noticed: when you take time to reflect, something shifts. Your anxiety quiets down. You stop judging yourself so harshly for past choices. You start seeing patterns instead of just feeling scattered. And when all of that happens, when your mind gets a little clearer, your time, your energy, and your money naturally starts to align better with what actually matters to you, not just what scares you. Reflection is how you move from just wanting something to actually becoming it. So let's go over some steps on how we can make this happen. Step one is your daily clarity anchor. And yes, this is a really simple process. You don't need a 2-hour morning ritual. Honestly, I think those are beautiful in theory and yet impossible in practice. What you do need is something small that you will actually do. So whether it's 10 minutes or 20 minutes, I like calling it your daily clarity anchor. It's just a daily moment to reconnect with your vision before everything else takes over. So here's what mine is going to look like in 2026. You can steal this or make it your own. I start with 3 deep breaths and then start writing. Today will feel successful if, and I finish the sentence. Not with a massive to-do list, just with 1, 2, or 3 things that actually matter, things that will actually move me forward. I look quickly at my top 3 priorities, the real ones, not the 27 items that are in my list of the things I think I should do or the things I hope to do. Then I ask myself, how am I feeling today? And most importantly, what am I avoiding? That second part I found over the last little while is really key. Our bodies know when we're sidestepping something. And then I ask, is what I'm doing today aligned with the person I'm becoming? The secret here is keeping this process really simple so that you'll actually want to show up for it in February, March, and even September. Consistency matters more than perfection. So even if you only have 5 minutes, you can get through most of this really quickly And the key is to just keep doing it every day. Step 2, let's look backwards before we move forwards. If you've created your 2026 vision, you're already doing something that most people don't do. But to really support that process, you need to understand where you're coming from. Let's schedule maybe 30, 60 minutes, nothing crazy, and use that time to ask yourself, what actually worked for my business and my energy? Not what looked good on Instagram, but what genuinely worked for you. Then ask what felt heavy or draining, and be honest. What projects, what clients, or commitments did you make that made you feel depleted? Then ask, where did I grow? You did grow last year. In fact, you've probably grown quite a bit in the last few years. Take this time to notice it. And then, what do I want to feel more of in 2026? Please, this isn't about judging yourself. It's about getting real information about what's working and what isn't. Because when you understand that, your goals stop being wishful thinking and become intentional choices. Step 3, make your time actually reflect your priorities. A lot of us say that our priorities are one thing, but our calendars actually tell us a completely different story. It happens to everyone, even myself. Sometimes I'll sit back and take a look at my calendar and see what's scheduled in it, and I'll realize that I'm busy with things that aren't that important to me. So it's good for you to take a step back and actually look at what you're prioritizing in your life. And if it doesn't match, good news is you can change it. Try this. For 3 or 5 days, just notice how you're actually spending your time. Where are your hours going? What moved your business forward? Or did you spend your time on a lot of things that were just noise? I actually like to do a time study every once in a while, especially if I feel like I'm really busy, but I'm not quite clear on what I'm busy with. Once you've done either a look at your calendar or a time study, it's time to get honest. What could actually be delegated? What could be automated? And what could honestly be deleted entirely? Maybe it's time for you to say no to certain things so that you can start to eliminate them. Then I challenge you to pick one focus block each day, a dedicated stretch where you do real work without distraction. This is where I'm going to be honest with you. Blocking time every single day does not work for me. What does work for me is blocking a day in which I do some real deep work stuff. You have to figure out what will work for you. I also recommend that at the end of your workday, take 2 minutes. It's a really quick process and ask yourself, what did I actually complete? What pulled me away? And what helped me stay focused? And then make any changes that you need to going forward to reflect what you've learned from these questions. Because honestly, these tiny moments of reflection, they can reshape your entire schedule over time. It's through these reflections that I know that I work better with bigger stretches of dedicated time versus small stretches in every day. And over time, your days start to match what you actually care about, what actually works for you, and not just what feels urgent in that moment or is screaming the loudest for your intention. Step 4, your money also needs intention. Money clarity is part of supporting your vision. And I know that money can feel heavy, but it doesn't have to. At least once a week, schedule a gentle money date with yourself. I like to do mine on Mondays. You pick whatever day matters to you. The purpose of these money dates is not to create shame spirals. It's not to create judgment on yourself. It's just about creating time for honest attention. Take the time to look at what's coming in, what's going out, record it, track it, and also ask yourself which of these expenses felt aligned with my values. Where did I spend money in a way that felt good? Because sometimes we just spend money by routine because we've always done it. But when we sit back and look at how we're spending our money, you might start to feel that things don't fit with yourself. Or maybe you no longer feel good about that expense, or maybe you realize you don't need it. But we can't make those identifications unless we take the time to look. Then every week, name one small shift that you're going to make. Maybe it's one thing that you'll stop spending money on. Maybe it's one thing that you'll actually invest in. Maybe it's one tiny little thing that will move you closer to alignment. When you can look at your money with compassion instead of dread, things start to change and money becomes a tool instead of a source of anxiety. Step 5, clear out your mental clutter. Your vision needs space. When your mind is full of unfinished tasks, old stories, lingering guilt, and 1,000 shoulds, there's no room for clarity. So once a month, do a real mental reset. Sit down and write down everything that's sitting on your mind. I mean, all of it, like a brain dump. Record all the tasks, the worries, the ideas, the grudges, the commitments that you're not sure about, everything that's floating around in that brain, get it out. Then look at what you wrote and ask, what actually matters right now? What can I let go of? Where am I feeling resentful, stuck, or obligated? This is just information. As you ask the questions, listen to it. Listen to the answers that you're giving yourself. Also ask, where are you feeling hopeful, energized, or excited? And how can you go to those places more often? These questions help you protect your peace and then make choices that will actually align with you. Remember, this is information. How you act on it is up to you. Step 6 is let reflection become action. Reflection on its own is beautiful, but it is the action that we take to make the changes that actually move us forward. Keep this flow simple. Each week, ask yourself, what did I learn about my energy, my time, or money? And if you think about the steps we took above, all of those reflection questions are actually answering this. Then choose. Choose one small thing that will help you make next week more aligned with your 2026 vision. And then act. Put it in the calendar, make a change, whatever you need to do to support yourself to actually make that happen. And then do it. It's these tiny little adjustments, tiny, that actually build on each other so that over months they add up to something real. Clarity, confidence, momentum. And they carry you towards the person you said you want to become. They carry you towards the feelings that you want to have for 2026. Because in each reflection, you're checking back to make sure that you're still aligned with that goal of what you want to feel. You already know where you're going. You don't need to become someone new. You don't need the perfect system or the fanciest planner or more motivation. You already have your vision set. You know where you're heading. These routines, these steps, these recommendations, they're just there to help you stay connected to the knowing on the days when everything feels noisy, heavy, and unclear. If all of this feels too much, pick one, start with that. Each quarter, maybe add on another one. Whatever works for you, that's what I recommend for you. So I ask yourself and sign off, what's one routine or reflection practice you're going to commit to? Leave a comment or share this video with someone that might need a little bit of this information today.